Thursday, mid-morning, a little later than that. Yeah, it's late mid-morning. I don't know, whatever you want to call it. It's Thursday morning regardless. I'm looking at some small little jobs of walnut timber here in the Springfield area today. And then I've got to sell timber later this afternoon, sell logs. So, and that's back to the whole skid steer thing. I know we're going to be talking about, you guys are going to get tired of hearing about the skid steer, but that's part of the whole idea and plan on buying this thing. Was a lot of these smaller jobs that I couldn't do, I'm now trying to really jump on and take, because I've got the ability to go in tight areas, urban areas even, cut these trees, clean up the mess real good with these skid steers. Let's roll the windows up. So that's what we're doing today. Like I said, and actually the first stop I'm going right now, the gentleman called me Tuesday when I was working down here there at Oldfield, wherever Tuesday's video or yesterday's video, wherever it was from, down there south by Ozark or Oldfield, wherever I was. I honestly do. My mind's a million miles an hour most of the time, and it's not hard for me to be thrown off the tracks. But he called me when I was working down there, and he gave me the address, and I wasn't in the position to write it down, but I took his number, I saved it, and I called him this morning, just like, hey, I'd like to look at those if at all possible. I wrote down the address. Well, a couple of years ago, when me and my ex had a house here in Springfield, we lived over here in a really nice area, a really nice part of Springfield, and it's kind of right. Technically, we were in the county when we weren't, but we technically were. But just east of us, not too far, was the James River, and there's actually quite a bit of timber back in that area. I mean, some good timber, some good walnuts, some good white oak, just all up and down those draws. A good friend of mine, Danny, he's actually cut quite a bit of timber over in that area, and that's part of the reason I know it's so good, because Danny rants and raves about it, how good a quality it is. And I mean, I've seen some of the stuff he's cut out of there, and frankly, I'm kind of jealous. Danny, tell you what, Danny buys a lot of timber. Danny's he's a go-getter, man. He's a go-getter in the timber world. But anyway, this guy and I drove by these trees, and I'm pretty sure they're the trees I'm thinking of, because us loggers, especially us old walnut loggers like me, we're a bunch of old buzzards and chicken hawks. I mean, we're just circling all the time looking for these trees. And I noticed these trees, when me and my ex, we used to, when we go grocery shop or something, we'd always, I don't like to take the same road all the time. I like to cut through and see the sights. I don't like to go back the same way I came most of the time. But anyway, I seen these trees, and they're down a little draw. Now, if they're the trees I'm thinking of, they're busters. And I really hope they are. But regardless, I don't live at that house anymore with that ex. I mean, of course, she's an ex, so things just didn't work out. So goes life. But it was a great place to live. I love that area. I'd love to live back right in that area again. I actually had a cousin that didn't even live a mile from me. A girl I went to high school with and used to run around with. We'd lived there a month, and come to find out, she lived right next door. Didn't even know it until we lived there about a month. Regardless, back to timber stuff. Guys, I'm Chuck Stevenson especially. I'm real bad about getting back to comments all the time. Like I said, I'm going a million miles an hour constantly. Shut up, golf clubs. I've got some golf clubs in the back. You never know when you're going to have to break out into golf. See, just like that right there, squirrel. I get off track. But anyway, I try to get back to comments the best I can sometimes. But this time of year, we are so extremely busy. Like, I know Labor Day weekend's coming this weekend, and I've had friends like, hey, we're going floating, hey, we're doing this. I'm like, guys, I cannot. One of my good friends and kind of a business associate messaged me earlier this morning he said, hey, if I get tickets to the Chiefs game tonight, do you think you can go? Which I don't like the Kansas City Chiefs anyway. But still, it's going to a football game with some friends. And I just can't do it. We are so busy right now with so much going on. I'm running 100 miles an hour from the time I get up to the time I go to bed. It's just, this is a busy, stressful time of year for us in the timber business here in Southwest Missouri. we are buying and looking and cutting so much timber right now, it's crazy. So I apologize if I don't get back to your comments in a timely manner. I try to get, I mean, I love the comments. I love reading your comments, and I try to get back to a lot of them. I know Chuck from a previous comment about the mileage on the truck. We're sitting right now going down the road 21,098. So in about 4.5 months' time, I've put 21,000 miles on this truck. That tells you about how much driving I'm doing. It's crazy. I mean, I don't plan on keeping this truck. I would like to ideally trade it about 60 or 70,000 miles. And the rate I'm going, we're going to have it about a year. I need to get a different vehicle to run and look at timber, but I live out of this truck, guys. I do. I honestly live out of this truck. So anyway, and about the seatbelt thing, yeah, in some of my videos, when I jump in here, like the other day, pulling out with skid steer, when I jump in, I don't put it on right away, but more times than not, guys, I'm always wearing this seatbelt. When I used to drive Mustangs, that's when I got in the habit of wearing these seatbelts. So, and I appreciate your concern. I know you guys, I mean, I know you're not trying to harp on me or anything, but I do appreciate it, but Mustang. But anyway, let's go up here and look at this timber real quick, and let's hope and pray that it's what I think it is. Because they were really good trees, and I would love to unload that cat here and just start cutting them. I really would. So guys, let's take a look at some timber. Let's go. Well, these aren't the trees I thought they were. That's not where I thought they were, though. But these are good trees. There's not very many of them, but we're kind of here in like a little draw, little ditch. But that's a big tree there. That's a big tree. It's a good tree too. We got a couple more tall ones standing here. And these areas like this, these areas where there's extremely nice homes. Like I said, I used to live here in these, right over in this neighborhood. Most of the homes are $200,000 and better homes. Right in here, it's on the better side because these are like all paved long driveways that go up to the houses in there. So there's another good tree right there. It's not in very good shape, you can see right there. It's not real big, but it's got good quality to it. Same with that one. A couple more over in here. Some big tops. And this is where the skid steers shine, right here in these little settings like this, where minimal ground disturbance. You're trying to get in, get out. Just like you want to be like a Navy SEAL. You don't want your presence to be known when you do the job. You want to leave it clean and neat. So let's walk around a little more up here. These big trees. Big trees. Good trees. Now the trees I thought I was going to look at were actually right in here, up this draw right here. We can try to creep by here, but man, they're like right up that little draw there. That is just which is hard to see with all the vegetation on, but trust me, they're there. I've seen them. I've eyeballed them many times. We're gonna back the old diesel up here. Yeah, I know. I just gotta put this seatbelt on real quick so that you guys stop worrying about me. Alright, let's tail out of here. See, right over there along that bluff there is the James River. And on top of that bluff through there is some good timber. Good timber. A lot of white oak and walnut over through there. Like I said, that was the trees I was hoping they were. It was right up in that little draw there. And these trees weren't bad, but they're not what I thought. I mean, they're not the ones I was hoping they were. But we'll try to buy them nonetheless. Maybe we can get them bought and do something on them. But there's some here on the neighbor, which some of these are hard to cut. I mean, you get in these urban areas, some people don't want to cut them because it takes away the aesthetics of the property. So you got to be real careful and selective. Now these houses here, these are kind of older. There's some bigger homes, like I said. There's some neat houses in here. Like this house here has always amazed me. That house is underground, right there. It's underground. Is that cool? Right there, whole thing underground. I've always thought that is a cool home. then we'll just take you on a grand tour of the old neighborhood here. I loved living over here. We're not going to go right up to my old house, but I'll show you kind of the area where I used to live, and we're going to go look at this next job I got here close. Pull out here. Yeah, so pretty nice homes. A lot of them up in there. It was a beautiful place to live. I didn't live in there. I lived on over here. But these are pretty nice homes in this little subdivision as well. So, you can kind of see my old neighborhood. Pretty nice shacks. Like I said, this is technically county, but it's really not. It's all city to me. Of course, me and the Bloodhounds, we were kind of, you know, black sheep in here. I don't, although people always love the Bloodhounds, and that's when my big male Hank was still alive. He was my big politician. He was a good boy. But guys, that's it for today. We're gonna jump off here. We're gonna go look at this other timber. We're getting ready to get back on 65. We got to run over here to the west side of Springfield, this job, and get it looked at and see if we can buy some timber. So guys, thanks for hanging with me again today. Try to get something shot tomorrow too. Have something interesting and cool out there. Like I said, I know today was a little different. We got to look at some timber and kind of show you where I used to live, things like that. But like I said, keep on subscribing, commenting, liking, sharing, following, all that good, glorious stuff. And Instagram, Facebook, Turner Logging LLC, Instagram, Facebook, Timber Tracker, and Instagram, Facebook, and the new website will be up soon for Logger Threads. So guys, check that out. I greatly appreciate it, and we will see you next time.